Hi, and welcome along to AFTV Transfer Daily, the show that keeps you up to date with players that have been linked with a January transfer move to Arsenal. Confirmed yesterday that Ainsley Maitland-Niles has now joined Roma on a season-long loan. When I say season-long, he'll be there until the summer. So Ainsley getting his chance to go to Roma and play under Jose Mourinho, and he has gone till the end of the season, which of course, as Mikel Arteta said himself in his very own words, it leaves us very short. We're on alert for players, you know, and he seems to be particularly looking at midfield players. I said on the show yesterday, it leaves us very short with Thomas Partey and Mohamed El Neni at the African Cup of Nations. At the moment, it's Sambi Lokonga and Granit Xhaka, and that is it in that sort of central midfield area, and leaves us desperately short. And it looks like Arsenal are looking to try and fill that area and are looking at several players emerging that Arsenal seem to be looking at. One of them is this guy, Danilo. Um, Very young player, only 20, plays for Palmeiras, but very, very highly rated in Brazil indeed. We see there a value of around about £16.2 million, according to Transfer Market. But the rumor is that Arsenal, according to Brazilian outlet R7, have lodged a bid worth up to £21 million, and are trying to tempt the midfield player, as I said, who's very highly rated, away from Palmeiras to Arsenal. He's got a long-term contract till 2025 with his current club. And also, they don't really want to let go of him at the moment because they had a very successful season last year, and they're going to be competing in the Club World Cup in February. So he's one of their main guys, and they want to keep hold of him. But Arsenal could get their man. You know what I mean? It all depends. You know, money talks a lot in these situations, and he is a midfielder that Arsenal looking at. Very young guy again, though. Um, do Arsenal look for youth here, or do they look for experience in this area? Got young players. Sambi Lokonga's very young. You know, most of the signings that we've made are very young. Would this guy fit the bill? Or maybe could Arsenal move for another Brazilian, which is Arthur Melo? Now, Arthur Melo is a real sort of bit of an extraordinary one. When you think that he was signed from Grêmio in Brazil in 2018 by Barcelona, they paid £66 million for him, right? Typical Barcelona, a whopping incredible fee. But at that time, really, really highly rated. Came over to Barcelona, didn't really work out at all for him. Then he got a move to Juventus, part of the deal that took Pjanic from Juventus to Barcelona, which is another thing that hasn't worked out at all. But since he's been to Juventus, he's hardly figured. This season, I think he's played just a handful of games for Juventus. And Edu is apparently seriously considering a move for Arthur Miller, one of the players that he's talking about at the moment. Now, Arsenal would prefer to try and see if they could secure some kind of loan deal for Arthur Melo. Um, and listen, if he was going for them sort of fees, it shows that he was a very, very highly rated player indeed. There is definitely a player in there, but maybe it's just not worked for him at Barcelona, just not worked for him at Juventus. We know that both of those clubs have real star players to get past. You know, the squads are loaded with so many stars. Could he come to the Emirates and sort of rekindle, what made him that highly rated and cost that amount of money in the first place? Be really, really interesting to see. But this, I think, is a solid rumor, and Arsenal are considering maybe getting him on loan until the summer. Would make sense, that type of loan move, a loan move for him. So let's see what happens as the sun's blazing into my room here as I'm doing this. Loving that, loving it. A bit of sunshine's out of me. Now, what about this guy, Samuele Ricci? Now, again, another youngster, 20, Italian, has been having a great season for Empoli over there in Italy, plays in the midfield. got a reported fee of around about £10.8 million. But as I said, very, very highly rated. In Italy, they compare him to Jorginho. That's the player they compare him to. He's a sort of a defensive midfield player, deep lying, but really good on the ball, great vision, good passer of the ball, and has been getting a lot of people excited over there in Italy that he could be one of the next big stars. Arsenal said to be interested in him, and according to Gazzetta dello Sport over there, the interest is real. Could Arsenal make a move for him? Again, young though, very young. I'm just thinking about it when I'm thinking of a player that will come in this, January transfer window to cover an area which is, an area where you need a lot of strength. And I'm not saying that this guy couldn't provide it, but particularly if you're looking for a player that's going to cover a lot in that midfield, you want someone that's going to be able to drop in straight away and do a job. Is this guy that person? And it's, not based off of talent or anything, maybe just based off of maybe lack of experience of playing in the Premier League. I don't know, but let's keep an eye on that one. That's going to be very, very interesting as well. And also this next one, I think it is almost inevitable that he's going to get linked with Ousmane Dembele. Now, Ousmane Dembele out of contract in the summer. Remember, Barcelona originally bought him for £126 million. What was going on at Barcelona? £126 million for him, £142 million for Coutinho, and we wonder why they're in so much financial trouble. Hasn't worked out for him. To be fair to Barcelona, when they bought him, he was one of the hottest prospects in European football, but it just hasn't worked out for him. He's a free agent, as I said, in the summer. That means he can, right now, actually, he can talk to any club he wants to about a move in the summer. Barcelona have been trying to get him to sign a new contract. He's refused that, much to their annoyance, and he's available now. Arsenal said to be monitoring the situation now, according to a couple of outlets. Would Arsenal move for him? Number one, the injuries. This guy has been that's one of the reasons why he hasn't done it at Barcelona. He's just had injury after injury after injury that's plagued him since he's been there. And secondly, out on that right wing now, Saka's there. You still got Pepe, who's still there. Ousmane Dembele, I mean, listen, he'd be big wages, but no doubt a very, very talented player. Again, be really, really interesting to see. I very much doubt it. I think there's a lot of clubs after him, and I just don't feel that as a priority. But as I said, it was almost inevitable that he was going to get linked with a move to Arsenal. Let me get into a couple of your comments from yesterday's show. Some great comments coming in, and keep those comments coming in on each show. Really, really appreciate it. Let me just do a few here. John Baller 96 says, if we can somehow get Vlahovic and Guimaraes this January, this might be the best season for progression on and off the pitch we've had in over a decade. Would be great, but very, very difficult to get either of those deals done. Ollie Harmon says, if we get Vlahovic on a top quality midfielder, we've definitely made a lot of progress in the transfer window. We're a long way away from the signing of Sanogo days. That's great. You're right there. I remember the pain of those days. Robert Akello says, Cedric is a good player, but not the class Arsenal need at the moment. He can go. Jeez, that's a bit harsh. As I said yesterday, Cedric getting linked with a move away. Something I doubt, to be honest. PTMA says, I'm glad that we're putting in bids for Vlahovic. Serious bids too, which is showing real statement of intent and showing everyone that we're serious and we are progressing. But it looks very really tricky to get past those agents. Don't feel disheartened if we don't get him, because they're really stopping it from happening. I'd be happy if we got Isaac and as a backup and a decent midfielder, but I trust Arteta and Edu. They did wonders in the summer, so honestly, they have all my trust this window, and that is a thing which I think, they've earned. They've earned the trust of the Arsenal fans with what they did in the summer. And for the first time in a long time in a transfer window, I do get that sense when I'm talking to Arsenal fans that there is a trust there, that fans are like, well, you know what? Look what they did in the summer. So, you know, we're linked to this Danilo guy. I don't know a lot about him, but I trust Edu because he's made some good signings. We linked with Arthur Melo. Well, I don't know. But if we got him in, all right, let's see. We haven't had that for a long time. This guy's really, really right when he says that. We haven't had that for a long time. So, yeah, let's keep trusting in him. Thanks for watching the show today. Don't forget to subscribe to AFTV and also to like this video. And have yourself a great day. The sun is shining, as you can see from at my window there. So let's hope it keeps shining and we can get some transfers in soon. That's the other thing. I think we need to make this midfielder one soon. If it is for cover, you know, we need to cover these games right now that we've got coming up. So let's see what happens. Thanks for watching the show, and I'll see you tomorrow.